The Kirsche drama. It continues. It has continued, and it will continue, and it will not stop. Vice found out after publishing hit pieces on problematic VTuber. That problematic VTuber being Kirsche. And they have taken down all three articles. I think the Via Lure article is still up. I think there's another Sportskeeda article, and both of those Sportskeeda articles are still up. It has just been wild. People came out to defend Kirsche. People lost friends over defending Kirsche. One of my VTuber colleagues, Loom, just lost a friend because of that. But, you know, you gotta stand on your morals. It is what it is. I've not lost anybody yet over this, but the thing is also, I don't really interact with the space that much, to be fair. I only exist really on, I don't really do anything on, for example, like Twitter. I don't interact much with others. I just chill with my, I guess the Christian VTubers would fall into that category, but pretty much I just chill with the people.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So it looks like we're getting a trilogy to this ongoing Kirsche situation. If you want full context behind everything leading up to today, you can check out my 2 previous videos on the subject. However, things have gotten very crazy with this cancellation campaign targeting Kirsche and her sponsors. A life ruination campaign fueled by various articles and viral tweets trying to slander her, including 3 hit piece articles produced by Vice. And now, after the effect of those, Kirsche is now making an official response with the help of this individual. Not sure who they are, but they cosplayed as Kirsche and delivered the document to their door. This contains a Google Doc that Kirsche has made responding to the situation and also making...
Delivered to their door? Are you telling me that Kirsche made somebody pull up to Vice? Nah! Nah! This is crazy! How based can somebody even be? How based can you even... That's wild. She sent somebody to pull up at Vice's door. That is crazy.
Retraction requests to Vice and threatening possible legal action if they do not follow through on that request. Now, to sum up everything leading up to this video in a very simple way, there's a cancellation campaign targeting Kirsche. They're trying to get her deplatformed. They're trying to remove her sponsors. And they're doing this through hit piece articles as well as viral tweets trying to paint her.
And yes, the people, the woke morons, have yet to even get an inch of ground in this situation. On one hand, we have Bind, who stopped kind of posting, but not really about her, because he is scared of legal action. On one side, we have Niara, who was just an autogynephilic moron. And we have Anna Valens, also known as Anal Violence, who is also not just an autogynephilic moron, but also a really weird freak who wants breeding facilities for women. Essentially has grave fantasies. Do with that what you will.
As a white supremacist, racist, Nazi, bigot, all these buzzwords they love to overuse on social media. And unfortunately, this campaign was successful in ending one of her partnerships, and that was with the game Crime Boss. And she was an integral part of growing this game and putting it on the map. And when people saw that she was removed, her partnership severed as a result of this ridiculous, slanderous cancel campaign, you can see the results. The negative reviews poured in. People are very mad at these developers for really having no spine, and also for...
Makes sense, right? Makes sense, considering, right? That she was the major driving point of the game, and now, she isn't anymore, so the people that played this game obviously don't want to play it anymore. Because, you know, it is what it is. And I feel like that is deserved. Would I call it a success? I guess sure in some way, but then on the other hand, Kirsche was like number 2 or number 1 most super chatted streamer on YouTube. So do with that what you will.
Welcoming in the modern audience, who, by the way, is now asking for refunds because they think this game is too problematic. Congratulations.
Played this for free on PS5. It's a bit bigoted. They use the phrase candy ass, which is a gay slur. Also, the people of whatever shown as courageous that wouldn't be out of place in a racist 80s movie. Nice. Nice. The people that you gave up your top supporter for hate your game. Success.
Crime boss, you played yourself. Now, of course, that's not good enough for a lot of the people involved in this harassment campaign against Kirsche. You can see this Anna Vellens individual. This is a Vice journalist who's made or been the subject of all 3 hit pieces on Kirsche that have been recently released. And now that they had this successful campaign with Crime Boss, now they're going after other sponsors, mainly gamer subs, trying to get them to end their partnership with Kirsche over misinformation and their primary sources, which is largely from Reddit posts and 4chan posts. Yes, words of other people on various websites like.
As usual, they don't look into this stuff, they just follow and use what fits their narrative. Obviously, this part is bad. They have repeatedly told me to delete myself to commit 41%. Obviously, don't do that. Don't do that. That's wrong. But this dude, I will refuse to respect this dude's pronouns. Ain't no way I'm doing that. This dude has great fantasies. Ain't no way I'm supporting that. So you're certified good guys, by the way.
That's the best they got. But also there's other people fuming in the VTubing scene. You can see this post that got a lot of attention saying, so much Kirsche hate has been on my timeline recently, and I have to say to that, keep it going, guys. I love to see those racist Nazi Mayo Moon crickets get dragged to filth.
Of course, racist. I find it funny that there's racist and then using Mayo Moon crickets as a slur against white people. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, you're ultimately the good guy.
Man, the anti-racist strike once again. This is advanced levels of racism, ladies and gentlemen. This person has to pull out a whole thesaurus to try to make up a slur to go after Kirsche with, while also trying to supposedly combat racism. Now, as these people always say, freedom of speech.
Also, just use some. I can speak anymore. Just use something that's simple, like mayo monkey, mayonnaise monkey. That works. Why make Mayo Moon crickets out of this? Like, what's the point?
Does not mean freedom from consequences, and that's what happened here. They would lose their ambassador position with Advanced GG.
Cooked! Finished! That is why based Advanced GG! Well, they sponsor refs, so that makes sense, I guess. Well, you lost your sponsorship in this case. Well, deserved. Ha! Get fucked.
And you can see they're quoting people making fun of them, saying, can you people read, I don't care that deeply, let it go. And people are clowning on this, of course, because clearly someone who constantly says over and over again, I don't care, clearly care a lot. But here's what I think they care about.
Well, if you didn't care, why announce it as an airport? Like, you're an airpod. I am, unfortunately, no longer with, Advanced GG.
I think they care about being made fun of. That's what they care about. They don't care about losing the Advanced GG partnership or ambassador position that much, because let's be real, this is not shaming small content creators. I was a small content creator myself at one point, but this person has like 6 YouTube videos, and their last stream was like 6 months ago. I don't think they were making a substantial amount of money from their ambassador position with Advanced GG, so losing that was not some major financial blow, so I think that's why they're so okay with what happened. However, while they were getting dunked on, they started to get a little spicy in the replies to that previous post saying this. I just learned Rev is sponsored by Advanced. Thank God they dropped me, bro. Holy S, I didn't know they were working with that stinker.
Damn, poor ref, you're stinky. It is what it is. Hey, Advanced, can I get a sponsorship? Cause I'm based too, and now you need a new one. I could replace her. Just kidding. Um, you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. Also, rip bozos to them. You are the bozo.
Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, use code REV30 to get 30% off your
I knew it. I knew he would plug it. I knew he would plug it. I knew he would plug it. That makes sense.
total advanced GG order. Use that link in the pinned comment and make sure to use that code REV30 at checkout to save 30%. This offer is valid until the 16th, so make sure to take advantage of it while you still can. Now let me talk about Advanced GG. What a great time to try it out or to restock with this code. So you can see we have this line of fan favorite flavors, including some of my personal jars, like my Rev Rocket Pop, which is definitely a fan favorite. People love this flavor. And you can see these are energy flavor. There's multiple types you can get. You can get hydration, focus, or energy. I personally like energy the best because it gives you the benefits of alternatives without the crash or jitters you get from stuff like energy drinks or pre-workout. You can scroll through. There's endless flavors for you to try out here. Blue Raz Slush, Cotton Candy, Dream Team Punch, which I highly recommend, Lemon Lime, also Lemonade, and they just restocked on the Magic Rainbow Sherbet, which is one of my personal favorites, so you can try out their flavors. I haven't had a single one that isn't delicious. Very easy to make, and on top of that, if you want to have a shaker to make it with, check out this little category right here, and you can see there's a more affordable option with a plastic shaker right here featuring me and my wife, Darling Straub, and our VTuber models. We also have the ice shaker here, which is made to keep your drinks cold all day long.
I think that's cute. They're such a cute couple, not gonna lie. They're really such a cute couple.
And it's also very durable. And you can see the smug face on.
And people are sometimes so mad that how well they're doing. I find that so funny. Like, why are you mad somebody else's relationship is doing well? Nah, dude.
On this art. I mean, can it get any better than that? And here's some other options for you guys to look at. As always, I greatly appreciate Advanced GG. They've been an incredible company to work with for about 2 years now, and it's been a big fan favorite with you guys. And using this link in the pinned comment and Rev30 to get 30% off your order greatly helps out me and this channel in advance, and also makes the worst people seethe. Yes, that is a win-win, ladies and gentlemen. Check out that pinned comment and help support the channel. And yeah, that is it for the spiel. And of course, you can see right here that Kirsche would respond to this series of tweets when she's referred to as a Mayo moon cricket, and she would say, actually, I'm a fox. And also, let me make this clear, since people are saying this.
I 100% stand with Foxu. And apparently they also went after Rosie Bell for not siding with anybody. Which, by the way, if you don't side for the side that is trying to get rid of Kirsche, you're on the side of Kirsche, so you have to pick a side regardless, so I'd rather just, you know, position yourself anyways.
It's about Kirsche. I'm sure they're going to say it about me. If someone wants to talk on social media, I think anyone should be able to talk about them. Just because they're a small channel doesn't mean I'm stripped of my freedom of speech. I can respond to people, especially when they're directly talking about you. They're starting the fight, so they better expect someone to respond when they're called out like that. But anyways, let's return to Kirsche here, that original post we started off with earlier in the video. You can see her tagging Vice and saying, like some kind of secret middle of the night ballot drop, I left a little something for you. I made sure it's on par with your company's journalistic quality, so you'll take it seriously. And let's play this video, by the way. Amazing stuff, as always, here. But of course, let's get into the Google Doc. And
it's so funny. Google Docky! It is so funny that she literally let that deliver by somebody.
She made a very concerted effort to make this an elaborate shitpost while also seriously addressing the issue. So she begins by addressing Vice's Waypoint, which is, I guess, Vice's attempt to revitalize that platform here, but you can see she says an open letter from Kirsha. Hey Vice, what the F? I'm Kirsha, a VTuber, which means I stream with a digital avatar that looks like this. Down here, she says you can catch me on these various platforms. She gets lots of support and then says, I'm not a Nazi. They walk funny, did too much meth, and didn't like to laugh, and they probably would hate me and most of my friends. So how come you keep calling me one? And then she says, Vice used to be a very respected outlet. I agree with that. They used to be a very respected outlet, one that I enjoyed personally. But they say, in any event, about a month ago, Waypoint, which is one of your verticals, a quasi-independent outlet, a failed gaming news site that you are trying to revive, something most people don't even know exists. Either way, it started publishing articles about me saying I'm a bigot, I'm a Nazi simp, and I'm responsible for all sorts of online harassment. It's completely untrue, of course, but also why me? Why now? I'm an anime foxwoman. What could a once respectable news org want with me? It's 2018 all over again. Is Vice the PC police for VTubers? So again, Vice, what the F? Okay, let me break it down. I know I've covered this in the past couple of streams, but Vice isn't a subscriber yet. Maybe if I tangent about their Colombian donkey, oh my lord, video.
Colombian donkey doing video. Did I miss this arc? Where's everyone, D-Luke? In the Discord. What? There's a new one. There's a new one. This is for real the new one. This is actually a fucking new one. Colombian donkey doing video. That's crazy.
A few more times they'll come around. I'm sure they won't, unfortunately. So here they begin with the first article. This is the headline saying, why is this gamer subs VTuber pushing the great replacement theory? And as she says, not to brag or anything, I have over 184,000 fans. You're accusing me of bigotry because one of my fans is a supposed Nazi. That's like saying McDonald's supports communism because Kim Jong-un likes Big Macs.
That's so true. That is so true. That's so true. Or you support slavery because you own a phone. And it's like, bro, what are you saying?
And what she's referring to is a post where someone bought her merch, and in that post that they shared with her merch in the shot, there was also some what people claim are Nazi symbols. And now they're trying to say, because of that, she is supporting X, Y, and Z. It is an incredible reach, and they're trying everything in their power to basically lambast her over that.
Like even I, when I like a tweet, I don't look exactly like I see something, and I don't look exactly like the picture or the art. There could be something controversial in there, and I wouldn't notice. I think Kirsha didn't particularly look. Calling someone a Nazi is basically just a way to say you don't like them these days. Say you don't like them these days. It has lost all meaning, to be honest. It has lost all meaning. Same with like pedophile or other words. They have no meaning anymore because they just are thrown around constantly. It's just really just Nazi's just somebody I don't agree with. It just is nowadays.
That. Now, of course, we can't really get into these articles without talking about its author, at least the author of the first two, Anna Valence. You saw her earlier. She's been tagging the sponsors Kirsha works with relentlessly on social media, and she is someone who is a massive hypocrite, and her credibility is none.
Don't call her a she. Don't call her a she. That's not a she. That's an autogynephilic man. No trans woman out there would reasonably talk. No trans woman would reasonably talk about wanting breeding facilities for women. No actual trans woman would say such a thing. Nope. The macaroni in the pot project, by the way. Race is just a word now. It just is. It means not. Racist also just means nothing. Because I feel like everybody is. Even the non-racists, or those who claim they aren't racist, are racist. Like, Mayo Moon Crickets, Mayonnaise Monkey, Cracker. Uh, other things like remember when Trump was voted into office and they were wishing for Latinos to get deported. The good guys, by the way. Similar. It's like that book. Everyone I don't like is Hitler. Yep. Breeding facility. Yep. Breeding facilities. There's, I think Asmongold covered this. I don't think the full audio, but pretty much what Anna Valens wants is for trans girls to have various breeding facilities where they can breed cis women. Yep, you're certified good guys. Also, he's into farts. And the NSFW, what was it? Fanfiction that Kirsche read on stream got her banned for a day as well. So there's that. That was also by Anna Valens. It's just really bad. It's just really, really bad.
As I will show right now. So recently she started working with Vice, and one of her first articles was this: these VTubers want you in their lewd game, you might want to pass. And in this case, they're talking about the lewdtuber agency Via Lore, right? They make two major claims. They said that their hiring process is transphobic with the biggest reach you will ever see in your life. But relevant to what I'm talking about here is they call out one of the talents who is a lolly VTuber who obviously does lewd activities with this company since they're a lewdtuber agency. And Anna Valens says that is problematic, that it's promoting pedophilia and that this content caters to predators, all predicated.
Yeah, yet you have grape fantasies. Sure. Sure, how about you knock on your own doors? If you have any. I don't care, dude. It's fiction. I don't give a rat's ass. But yeah, pretty much you have to pass. That's what they want you. If you are trans, you have to pass. Which makes sense, since it is a agency targeting straight men. So it makes sense that you would need to pass to be able to enter. Once again, this is not transphobic. If I don't hire women because the job is too physically demanding for any woman to do it, that does not mean I am sexist. It just means that you can't do the job.
On the concept that they support that clearly says fiction affects reality. That's how they're jumping to this conclusion, saying fiction affects reality. That is the standard they are using onto other people to make wild accusations.
I don't think fiction influence reality. I guess it does to a degree, but not in any way that there's no data suggesting that it does to a major point. Which is like, the argument is weird, because if we spin that further, right, that means you cannot play shooting games because they might make you violent and want to shoot up a place. You can't play any games with animal violence. You know, you might become violent to animals. You could push that even further, where you could, to the point where you could do nothing anymore, because somebody might do something. So John Lolly isn't okay, which it 100% isn't, but he can't have a grape fantasy and not see any issue. Nope. To be fair, I don't care about the Lolly stuff. I'll be real. Funnily enough, they did studies on this, and the study just showed that it does not affect actual statistics anyway. Fiction sometimes take over reality. I would say that with the argument, for example, for lollies, it's like, not everyone that likes lollies is a PDF. The vast majority isn't. But PDFs might like lollies. Just like not everybody, most people that play shooters, like Call of Duty, won't shoot up a school. But some that play Call of Duty already have these thoughts. That's how I see it. But yeah, I don't care. If it's fiction, I don't care.
Against them. And just like everyone else who makes that statement, they're a massive hypocrite on the subject of fiction affecting reality or not. They make that claim while also consuming very similar content themselves. Here's reposts and
Reset the clock!
Interactions they've had with all kinds of art featuring characters from Lolicon series, characters that are underage, characters that are lollies, and slash or all of the above. So they consume and interact with that stuff themselves that they're using to chastise others, while also being a very vocal, long-time customer of Faku, which sells a whole category on their website of lolicon dojins. So they don't go after...
Reset the clock! Reset it immediately! That's what I think that's what they mean with projection. I think that's what they mean with projection. I guess as long as the art isn't based on anyone real, then it's not as bad. It's still kind of odd there. I'm not saying that it's, like, no, right? It's weird. And lolicons know that they're weird. But that's about it. I find it weird. I don't get it. I don't understand. But go ahead, I guess.
This company that they support, but they use that same thread of logic to attack another company, in this case Vialore, and make wild accusations against them. That's obviously very hypocritical. On top of that, this voice clip has made the round.
Oh nah. Oh nah. Is he gonna play it? Not again. I've heard it so often now. Please, ref, spare me.
I'm not gonna play it because I've heard it once and I've...
okay, thank goodness. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. And I think, like I said, Asmongold covered it as well. Nah.
Heard it too many times at that point. You can listen to it for yourself, or you can watch other people reacted to it, including Asmongold, God bless his soul, going through that. But here we have Anna Vellens sharing a fantasy of theirs, where, to sum it up, it's some reality where trans people have subjugated biological women and have now forced them into breeding facilities, and now the trans people routinely R-word them, and yeah, that's the story they're fantasizing about. Again, this person says fiction affects reality and you should be judged so based on your interests.
Bruh. I will not show this here as well, because I don't want the risk of getting a strike or anything, or getting banned. But bro, I've heard this so many times now. I've heard it 3 times, I think.
Obviously very hypocritical here again. On top of that, they have routinely expressed interest in age play audios, in producing them. And if you don't know what that is, that's when one or multiple people in a group, they're role-playing is an age that they're not, and take a good guess as to what ages they're typically role-playing.
Every millennial has a secret need. Are you implying every millennial, likes age play? What the fuck do you mean? You're getting a juicy juice, a coloring book, a nice warm cookie, a nap time with cuddles, up against mommy's tummy. I can tell you right now, nobody will lay next to you. You get no play, my dude. Ew.
And then they doubled down on that claim in 2024 and said at first, professionally speaking, it was a bit of a no-go for them. But then they said, I don't have much writing up on age play, but I'm very supportive of it, having been in a mommy-daughter dynamic that was extremely fulfilling for them. And they feel like age play can be an important and healing form of play for many adults and should be destigmatized. I show these things for one reason only. Some people say just because they have these interests, they should be immediately discredited. I show this because it shows that they're a hypocrite and that their words shouldn't be trusted. They said, because you consume this anime stuff, you are a predator. And that's what you're appealing to with your lolly VTuber model.
I feel age play can be an important and healing form of play for many adults and should be destigmatized. I think you're just a weirdo. Instead of going to therapy and actually fixing the issue, you just feed into it. It's like I feel like it's like a schizophrenic finally listening to the voices. Maybe that's just me.
While they also have these fantasies of the R word, of age play, of these other things just involving anime itself, But now we're going to move on to one of the more egregious things that needs to be brought up as well. This article they made in 2020. This article is disgusting for reasons I'm going to explain. So Anna, in their infinite wisdom, decided.
What the fuck? What playing Fall Guys with a toy means for tech and consent in games. Did you put something up your ass and then play Fall Guys? Age regression is healing. Age play is gross. That they're very different. Yeah, because one is sexual, the other one is not. Bro. Who let this man write?
It was a good idea to rig an adult toy on themselves and have it so when they're playing Fall Guys, if they bumped into another character, it would trigger the toy. So yes, I understand this is a video game, right? And it's interactions with other players, but there's no consent here. They're getting gratification through this game involving players who don't know that it's happening. They're not consenting to what's happening. That's what makes this very disturbing, and what makes it even more disturbing is that Fall Guys is a game heavily played by children.
I don't want to say look through their hard drive, but I think it's time to say look through their hard drive. Look through his hard drive. Goodness. That is weird as fuck. You're not a PDF, but you're weird as shit. You are weird as fuck. You have not committed any crime, but you are weird as shit, bro. If you do it in a single player game, I don't give a rat's ass. Fine, go ahead, do it. Have fun, I guess. Goon to your game. But bro, yeah.
So I don't understand on what planet they thought this was a good idea. This is a very disturbing thing that they produced back in 2020. I produced these things to show you this is not someone who's very trustworthy. This is not someone who should have much credibility whatsoever. They're a massive hypocrite on a million different subjects. But let's finally return to the Google Doc here, okay? So you can see Kirsha talking about this first one, saying, rather than back up this outrageous accusation, the article starts off by talking about my sponsor, GamerSupps. So then they go on here and say, however, GamerSupps is in hot water with many VTuber fans due to the behavior of who else but Kirsha, an anime fox girl with a knack for sharing alt-right talking points. Kirsha has landed herself in controversy after controversy online due to her right-wing beliefs. At this point, it begs the question whether GamerSupps will one day pull the plug on the VTuber for good. Do you see the way they're approaching this? This is all about life ruination. This is about pulling sponsors. This is not about spreading awareness.
Yeah, it's not. And to be honest, based for GamerSupps to still be sponsored with like sponsoring Kirsche, to be honest, others would have dropped her, like Poggers or I don't know. There's probably some. I think Advanced GG obviously sponsors Ref, so that should be fine. But yeah, I think the new VTuber tea company, not the Dragon's Tea, not the Tea Man, but the other VTuber thing, that by the way doesn't make coffee, they just package it and send it to you. Nothing more to it. They would have done something like that. So yeah, still standing with her. Interestingly enough.
All it's focusing on is GamerSupps and saying, why are they still employing you? Why are they still working with you? You're so bad. You have alt-right talking points, right-wing beliefs. They don't even keep it consistent, which honestly with people like this, anything to the right of Karl Marx is probably alt-right to them. But anyways, Kirsha says,
I feel like even Marx would say that these guys are fucking weirdos, not gonna lie. That dude would still say that they're fucking weirdos. Like, if that man read what Anna Valens was doing, bro would not be on his side. I don't think so. I don't think so. He would still consider them weirdos. And I feel like a lot of people have ended their work with GamerSupps. And, you know, it's kind of funny, because people like Rin Penrose has ended her co- uh, collaboration with Gamer Subs and announced it like at some airport with like virtue signaling, not even having the balls to even say the name. It's just weird. That one animator did it as well. Still no balls to actually, say the name. Once again, just virtue signaling. Deleted the post later. I got blocked by him for calling him out. Works as well.
First time hearing about this supposed controversy, literally, I've been sponsored by GamerSubs since September of 2023. This is a tactic called manufacturing consensus, where activists claim everyone agrees with them to make their point seem legit. Note that this paragraph doesn't cite a single source. Yes, so they are literally just saying everyone's offended while they're creating the narrative that everyone is offended in order to make their claims have any sort of meaning whatsoever. And also the sources cited in the article, guess where they're from? Anonymous posts on Reddit. This is hard-hitting journalism in action, ladies and gentlemen. But let's continue on. Here's the headline of the second Vice article, saying VTubing has an elephant in the room. Bigotry. And what's their proof of this? A random 4chan post. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we should be really focusing.
It was just I didn't get to read them because they were down before I could. So it's just a random 4chan post. Also, it's not VTubing that, if anything, not VTubing has that problem. It's indie VTubing, if anything. You will never catch corpos do anything political. Oh, Bint. Oh, Bint! Bint is here, who blocked me. Marina blocked me as well, though it might be longer since I called her out originally when she went after Taiga. So there's that.
On as a trusted source.
He went after Taiga.
So, again, for the millionth time, Kirsha says, obviously I think harassment is bad, I don't do it, and I tell my fans not to do it. The suggestion made repeatedly in this article that I and my fans endorse harassment is totally false. In fact, fully half of the tweets quoted in this article are from a person who goes by Invented or Bint, who has serially harassed me for months. Does Anna Vellens mention this in her article? No. Do I have proof of this harassment, which I would have shared if Vice bothered to ask? Absolutely. Here's some examples. And it's like calling her Ku Klux Kirsha, saying they don't indulge in a place of cruelty. I take joy in knowing that she's burdened by hatred that should burden you in some form, if not from guilt, then from the rightful consequences as minimal as people criticizing and making fun of you on Twitter.
This guy is also, by the way, an absolute fucking hypocrite. First of all, he is absolutely mentally ill because he's so obsessed with Kirsche. This is like, those 4 tweets are nothing. There's like plenty, dozens of tweets about Kirsche. Bro is incredibly obsessed. In addition to that, he got scared of legal action, so he said he would no longer talk about Kirsche, and then immediately proceeds to continue talking about Kirsche. It just is what it is. I think bro is just... And also, he was part of Nietzsche sisters harassing Selen, who's now Dogi Bird. Do with that what you will. Horrible dude. I think he's just a failed VTuber that will never amount to anything much.
Can I add, low-key set off the domino effect that led to a sketchy VTuber sponsor to lose thousands of dollars on my resume. So they're proudly saying that they're going to be the main charge here, trying to get her to financially suffer and lose sponsorships. Again, if you want to know, you can look at this person's profile. Like, it's not a daily obsession. It's not an hourly obsession with Kirsha. It's a by-the-minute obsession. It is non-stop attempts to engage in life ruination. They have latched on to Kirsha, and I unfortunately suspect they're going to continue. But that's the sources being used for these articles. But they continue on and says...
Yet, Niara, if you don't know who that is, also another one who does the similar shit. It's just, dude, it's just 3 morons going at her, and all 3 are failing. I love to see it.
The article doesn't mention this person that they're using as a source. And also, the article again talks about my sponsor GamerSupps and tries to make it seem like there's some sort of controversy brewing. Here's the words that were in the article. Earlier this week, independent VTuber Rin Penrose announced the end of her partnership with gaming supplement company GamerSupps. According to Penrose, her decision came to due to associations with creators whose views strongly conflict with my own, as well as a lack of communication from the company on this issue. And Kirsha says, look, I love GamerSupps and that they support VTubers from every side of the political spectrum. That's one of the things that makes them such an amazing partner. That and their awesome supplements. And then she says, crossed out here, use code REV30 for 30% off your advanced GG order. That's very
Rev, stop plugging yourself. Let Kirsha have some. Yeah, based for plugging herself in this. Based.
kind of her. Here we have this saying, I hope I continue to work with GamerSupps, but if this effort to cancel me is successful, I have to wonder who's next. Well, that's the whole point. And people are already taking the crime boss narrative and using that as fuel to keep going after more sponsors. You're giving people a feedback loop. When you as a sponsor drop someone over these cancellation campaigns, you're rewarding their insane behavior and their
Yeah, that happened with Poggers too. That happened with Poggers as well, where they tried to cancel Akimi on Twitter, and it absolutely failed, and it absolutely backfired for virtuous. It absolutely backfired for Poggers for virtue signaling. It just shows me that you will drop me at the slightest bit of backlash, and I'm like, if it's nothing major, like you haven't committed a crime or anything, I don't see why you should drop somebody.
life ruination campaigns, and you're encouraging them even further. But now we move on to the third article where it's titled Waypoint Stands with Anna Vellens. And they show posts from other people that's now being attributed to Kirsha once again. And they're showing suggestions on Throne, a wishlist website. This is one of them, for example. They're showing this on social media saying it continues.
Whoever did that is so based. Ruby's men's classic clown costume. Not only did you shit on him for being a weirdo, you also gave him the clown. That's based. Whoever put that in there, you deserve a hat pad.
Referring to the harassment campaign they've been facing, and it's a clown suit. Okay. But also, there was a very important discovery here made by Curry.
I think it's also that because he identifies as a trans woman. I feel like because he identifies as a trans woman, he thinks like that's transphobia. I mean, it's still funny though. I don't care.
Ringy. This is really important. This is referring to the third article. There was a change. There was a change to the article the day after, and now some of the content is missing. Well, what content? As you can see here, they're going after, now also Leafly, by the way, but they're showing these screenshots of the harassment campaign going on, but they show this right here, right at the forefront. Now, if you look at this, it says with the name blacked out, curious, you are a man, you cannot be a lesbian, referring to Anna Vellens. And of course, this is posted in the Vor subreddit.
The War subreddit? What the fuck? Also, that's true. That is true. You cannot be a man and be a lesbian. That does not work. And trans women making it feel like making them say like when they are with a woman they are a lesbian. That is not true. Lesbian means I am attracted to female reproductive parts, to a female body. That you cannot be a biological male and say you're a lesbian. That does not work. That the sexuality doesn't work like that. It's not an identity. And I feel like, I'm gonna say it, some trans women are absolutely a a threat to at least to lesbians in that regard. Because you make them feel like you have to sleep with somebody that has a cock.
Interesting. But here's the problem. Look at the screenshot. Posted 1 second ago. Either Anna Vellens has the fastest reaction speed in the entire world, or this is possibly a manufactured piece of supposed evidence here that they likely created themselves to paint themselves as a victim of an anonymous user sending a hateful message. This is a really terrible look for Vice. It was Vice's article trying to defend Anna Vellens, and this is the type of evidence they're producing. It looks highly manufactured, if we're being honest. This looks really suspicious. You see this all the time on places like Twitter where people are like, I'm being harassed. Here's a hate message. And, you know, they forget to crop out certain things, or they have situations like this, posted 1 second ago.
Or they say they received death threats. And when you ask them where the threats are, there are none. They cannot provide any. That's also one that people do.
This looks incredibly suspicious. But let's continue on with this Google Doc. So again, Kirsha says, harassment is bad. No one should do it. And I tell my fans not to. But then the article says everything she's going through. But I'll sum it up. Anna is being attacked for simply asking questions about certain areas of the VTubing community, which she's an active part of.
I'm gonna also say this. People who push this narrative of the VTubing community, you are fucking idiots. There is no such thing as a community. It's a medium. There are smaller... Every VTuber creates their own community. So, there is no VTubing community. There's a VTubing space, I would say that, but there's no community. We're not like a big, cuddly family. We are not. Just plain and simple. You said you were a lesbian when you attracted to female parts. Yes, but they make it seem like their identity and then liking women makes them lesbians, which is not true. Your biology, your biology, your whatever, that and your attraction does that.
See what this whole active part of where they're trying to go with all this by going after big names for clout. But of course, Kirsha responds saying, just asking questions. Look, I read those articles pretty carefully. I do not see a lot of questions, mostly a lot of statements based on Reddit threads and other anonymous sources. This seems very targeted at me and why. I'm an anime fox girl, VTuber, your Vice. What the F? Also, this happened in the article. The time for games is over. The irony is totally dead. We are still talking about VTubing, right? Anyway, not to be all you started it, but you literally started it. There was no controversy. No one, apart from a few anonymous internet trolls, Vice quotes in its articles, which might not even be real, at least some of the examples, was butthurt about me and what I was doing or saying on my stream until you started writing articles calling me a Nazi, and now you're calling me a bully and saying it's time to start a war. This is a 2018 cancel culture style article all over again. Or is this VTubergate, which is...
This has a nice ring to it, VTubergate, not gonna lie. That has a really nice ring to it. The thing is, Kirsha is none of these things, because if you pull up, like, the Sportskeeda article, right? The first article ever, had like a clip, and they were saying that she's like racist and that she supports the one white lady calling another, like, a black kid the gamer word, and it's like then they use the clip of her literally saying the opposite. What do you do with that?
Which is the phrase they're trying to use, by the way, which is absolutely embarrassing. Anyway, it's getting pretty tiresome. Someone says something you don't agree with. Start saying they're controversial. Name drop a bunch of brands they work with, play the victim card, or rage tweet at them until their sponsors bail. This is the playbook used over and over again. And here is the final page saying, anyway, if you're just asking questions, I have one. How come in the middle of all this, Anna Vellens is asking people to buy her gifts on Throne? Surely this isn't just a big branding opportunity for someone who wants to become a definitive VTuber journo, right? Right? Seems awfully suspicious. Now here's the important part. I don't want to go to court over this, but if you keep calling me a Nazi and keep calling for my sponsors to drop me, what else am I supposed to do? Seriously, Vice, is this what you want? You want to be the PC police for VTubers. On your front page right now, you have articles about crazy, horny mud truckers and how cool it is to be goth in Ukraine right now. But my stream is too controversial. I'm asking nicely. I'm not saying that will get clipped. Please take these articles down.
I feel that, ref. I feel that. I feel that. He doesn't want to say it. I feel that. Classic.
And stop pretending there's a controversy where there isn't. I promise if you do, I'll go back to streaming and you can go back to reporting on the Berlin Sex Toy Expo or whatever it is you do. Love, Kirsha. I think this is a fantastic response to what's going on here. Somehow making this funny while also addressing a serious cancellation campaign being spearheaded by Vice, trying to engage in life ruination, and they just won't give up. The people involved with these posts and articles attacking her have no credibility. They're massive hypocrites, and they're trying to make a name for themselves in various ways and on various platforms, and it's so obvious what they're doing. As always, support Kirsha in this. That's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topic.
That's pretty much the end of the video. My thoughts are very simple. These people are actually retarded. There's no way they can continue with this. I mean, the Vice articles are gone now. They're gone now, which is good. Users are dumb, right? Some of them are absolute morons. That's true. I don't know. I mean, Anna got banned now on Twitch as well. As far as I'm aware, his account is no longer existing on Twitter as well. So we'll see. Next to go should be Bind. Just saying.